Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Hamis Tech. So before I go any further, I'm just going to tell you guys I do not have the OnePlus Nord with me. Over here is the OnePlus 8 Pro. I am a big fan of OnePlus. I've been using the OnePlus 6 for 2 years and I got this phone. So this video is basically how I feel about OnePlus having the OnePlus Nord. Going forward is a very good move. So if you're not really interested in this video, do click on my channel down below. There's tons of videos I've done so far. If you're interested and a big fan of OnePlus, do continue on with this video. So like most of OnePlus fans, I was very excited for the OnePlus 8 series that was released back in April. I was looking forward to the wireless charging of here, the IP rating and so on. But there were rumors that they were going to release 3 phones during that launch. Only 2 phones came out, the 8 and 8 Pro. And after that, they had rumors about the so-called cheaper version coming out in July. Then so on, they had the OnePlus Buds and so on to come out during the same period as well. So I didn't really think of it so much when it came to the lighter version. I thought, they would come up with a more budget option and just makes sense. They could have named it the OnePlus 8 Lite or a OnePlus Z. The 8 Lite makes a lot of sense because it's the cheaper version of the OnePlus 8 series. The Z version, yeah, it does make sense as well because they had the OnePlus X that was released a few years back. That one didn't really sell quite well, but yeah, it did make sense for them to come out with a more budget option with the OnePlus Z. And then you fast forward to 1 to 2 months before this, and there were a lot of rumors about what the name could have been, and OnePlus decided to scrap all that and just came out with their own name with their social media, and it came out with the OnePlus Nord. And as a fan, again, I was thinking, why would you want to complicate yourself? Why do you want to call it the OnePlus Nord? Why not just go for the 8 Lite, the Z or something else? It's much more simpler. So the more I think about it and the way I see OnePlus doing things, it makes actually a lot more sense. So I want to put it into perspective. So you have 2 groups here. In the first group here, you have the Samsungs, the Huawei's and the Apples. Then you go on to the next one, you have like Xiaomi, you have Oppo, you have Vivo and these other brands in the other category. And the 2 main difference about these 2 so-called groups is the premium name, the premium brand. And when you're buying like a $500 phone or a $1,000 phone, when you're buying like a Samsung, people think like, wow, you're spending a lot of money to get a very good phone. But if you're spending the same amount of money to get the same amount of specs for like a Oppo or a Xiaomi or a Vivo, people won't really talk about it so much. I mean, look at it. The Xiaomi came out with the Mi 10, Mi 10 Pro series, which had the same price as the S20 Plus and Ultra. It had the same camera as well as the S20 Ultra. The Oppo Find X2, they came out with the Find X2, Find X2 Pro. Again, same price with the S20 Plus and Ultra, but no one really talks about these phones. Nobody really goes out and tell you to buy these phones at that price. Even if you go lower to that $500 range, people will just tell you go for like a Samsung A series or so on, because really the brand name stands out a lot. And I'm not taking anything away from companies like Xiaomi, Oppo, Vivo and all that. They do come out with very innovative tech. They come out with the best fast charging you can find out there. Even with Xiaomi, they came out with a under-display selfie camera already. So in terms of innovation, in terms of technology, they are actually almost sometimes same level or sometimes even ahead of like companies like Huawei, Samsung and Apple. But then again, like I said, when you're spending that amount of money or spending any amount of money, people will associate the Samsungs and all that, the Huawei's, the Apples, with more of a premium feel. And that is how these companies are built. When it comes to Xiaomi, Oppo and all this, they built their name by coming out with super so-called cheaper models, cheaper phones from their start, so people that can actually afford smartphones can actually buy them. Not everybody wants to spend, back then $500, $1,000 for their phones. People can just maybe spend $200 to $300 for their smartphones. And that's how they've sort of built their name over the years. When it comes to the other group, they always came out with the most expensive, the flagships back then, and no one could rival it because the price of making these components are very expensive. And like I said, even their flagship phones like from Xiaomi, from Oppo, they're trying to sell it hard, but they can't really match it compared to like the P30s, the P40s, the Mate, the S20, the Notes, because of that premium brand feel. And that is where I feel OnePlus is coming in with their OnePlus Nord. It's something very similar to what Apple has done with their iPhone SE. They come out with a so-called more budget options for people to get into their whole brand into their whole ecosystem. You guys know how OnePlus has built up their company. They came up with being the flagship killer, coming out with killer specs at a killer price to rival people like the Samsungs, the Huawei's, the Apple, so that people will actually buy these phones. And over the years, they actually did increase their price gradually. And I don't see OnePlus actually lowering this price. I do see them next year with the OnePlus 9, they're going up higher with more better tech and everything else. I don't see them actually going down anymore. And that's why they came out with this OnePlus Nord. They want to keep that OnePlus brand, this name so-called at a premium level, so that when people think, when people see you buying a OnePlus phone over here, they will think that you're spending a lot of money and it's a very good phone, something like the same level as the Samsungs, the Huawei's again, and as the Apple. So this OnePlus Nord, I feel is like, you know, an entry. It's like an iPhone SE level. You're getting really good specs, really good phone, and you can still get into the OnePlus ecosystem. And with that hardware and software thing, you know, it's better now, more integrated compared to if it was done a few years back, because OnePlus has done a very good job with the OxygenOS, making it very simple that even with the 765G Snapdragon, it's able to withstand the same thing that you get on the OnePlus 8 series, your 8 and 8 Pro. And if you've seen things like in India where OnePlus has come out with their OnePlus TV, they released their true wireless earphones, they have their wireless earbuds, all these things, and I do see them in the next 1 year or so coming out with more of this like tech, different tech other than their phones to build their ecosystem. And this OnePlus Nord, I do see it growing even more. Maybe they come up with more names for it to come up with like so-called the A series, so that more people can actually buy this so-called cheaper models at different price range. And I feel it's a very good move for OnePlus as a company moving forward as a premium brand. So that is it, guys. Do let me know in the comments down below what you think about the OnePlus Nord. I will be getting this phone when it does release here in Malaysia. I will do a whole review, everything. You guys know how it is. Do let me know if you think it's a good move or you think it's a waste of time. Do follow me on my socials as well, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also here on YouTube. Do click that like and subscribe button down below if you enjoyed this video. This is Dr. Hammerstack. Stay safe, take care, and wash those hands.